Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to share with you today my top tips on how you can manage conflict. If you're new here, I'm Natasha from Bright Sprout Consulting and I'm a career and life coach. My goal here on YouTube and in real life is to help you succeed in the world of work by building your confidence. I normally do that by sharing my top tips for how you can make sense of that crazy thing called work. If that sounds like something you're interested in, then subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you can be updated of any new content that I post. If my content resonates with you, then please feel free to give it a like. It really does help to grow my channel and get it seen by more people. Make no mistake, everyone, everywhere deals with conflict of some kind in every aspect of their lives. At home, at work, at church, even at the mall. Everyone gets exposed to some form of conflict during the course of their lives. There's even this misconception out there that some people enjoy conflict. Here's a little secret. No one enjoys conflict. In fact, some people may just be better at managing conflict than others, and so it appears as though they like it, maybe. And just because conflict is unpleasant and may potentially give you hives, doesn't mean that you should avoid it. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that the only time it's acceptable to avoid conflict is if the outcome doesn't matter to you. Like when you're driving on the highway and some jerk cuts you off, or someone steals your parking spot. Let's be honest, those things are not going to fundamentally change your life, so they don't actually matter. In those instances, it's okay to avoid the inevitable blow up with those individuals. Unless you're into that thing. You know, road rage. In those instances, I would probably say just bin it, move on. But when the outcome matters to you, when it leaves you feeling some kind of way, then it's probably best to figure out how to effectively deal with the situation so that those gremlins don't turn into those ugly things that shouldn't be given water in the middle of the night. In today's video, I thought I'd share some of the tips and techniques I use in my conflict situations. You'd think that because I'm a career coach, I wouldn't have conflict, but you'd be remiss, sadly mistaken, to discover that even I, even me, experiences instances of conflict. So in today's video, I'm going to share just a few of my own techniques that I use. Hopefully it helps you. The very first tip I've got for you is to not engage in conflict discussions when you are in what I like to call a feeling funnel. Essentially, this is when your emotions are running super high and it's difficult for you to control them and have any form of rational thought. I found that there are two approaches that I like to use to center myself and try and get out of the feeling funnel that I'm in. The first approach is to just walk away. This allows you to get away from the situation and the person that's making you feel that uncomfortable and unhappy. It helps me. The second approach that I like to use is to take a deep breath and count to 10. I find that this approach helps me to focus my mind so that I can think about things more rationally. If after counting to 10 you're still not feeling in control, then I recommend that you walk away. Go that way until you feel calm enough to have a rational discussion. My second tip is to not make it personal, to rather focus on the behavior that drove you to potential homicidal thoughts. Honestly, I've come to realize over time that most people are nice. Some may just hide it deep down. But generally, they don't intend to be assholes. So to make it personal and assume that that's the intention doesn't help in the conflict situation, nor is speaking smack about their mothers.
What you say about my mama?
Lesson learned. Don't do that. It really doesn't help. It doesn't help. My recommendation is to resist the urge to play dirty, to focus on someone's personal characteristics and rather focus on the behavior that they displayed. It really does help resolve the conflict when that's the focus. My final tip is the hardest one of all. It's the one I struggled with the most. In a conflict situation, try not to focus on winning it so much. It's not a competition. To resolve the conflict, sometimes you need to consider compromise as an option. Not winning is sometimes the answer. The only way you are going to fully appreciate how a compromise can be reached is if you're willing to listen to what the other person has to say. That way, the two of you can find a middle ground. Try it. See if it works for you. We've come to the end of our video today. Hopefully, in me sharing some of my tips in terms of how I deal with conflict, helps you to have that difficult conversation you've been putting off. As mentioned earlier, I am a career and life coach. If you want to build your confidence and you're just looking for someone to walk that path with you, then feel free to reach out. All of my details will be in the description box below.